You know, at my age, you think you've experienced every emotion life has to offer, that your heart can't be surprised anymore. But let me tell you, on my 75th birthday, my son David taught me that a mother's heart always has room for one more earthquake. He walked through my front door with the most beautiful bouquet of yellow roses, my absolute favorite. His face was beaming with a smile I hadn't seen since he was a young man. And my own heart just swelled with this simple, pure joy. It was enough. This moment was truly enough for me. But then he didn't just hand me the flowers. He held them close to his chest, looked me right in the eye, and said, "Happy birthday, Mom. I've come to give you these flowers and to finally return something I took from you 40 years ago." Well, my smile just froze on my face. 40 years? My mind, it started racing, tumbling back through the decades, through all the struggles of raising a boy on my own after his father passed, through all the lean Christmases and the patched up jeans, and I couldn't for the life of me think of what he could possibly mean. What had he taken? A little money from my purse? A piece of jewelry? I'd long forgotten any of those small things. He saw the confusion on my face, and his smile got a little sad, a little wiser. He set the flowers down on the coffee table, their sweet scent filling the space between us, and he reached into his jacket pocket. I held my breath, honestly expecting to see some small, tarnished trinket. But what he pulled out was just a simple, old, folded piece of lined notebook paper, yellowed with age and soft at the creases. My heart was pounding now, a nervous rhythm against my ribs. He unfolded it so carefully, like it was a sacred document, and he handed it to me. "Do you remember this?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. I took the paper, my hands trembling just a little, and I looked down. And there it was, in my own handwriting from a lifetime ago. It was a budget, a list I'd written one desperate night, sitting at this very kitchen table, when David was about 15. I remembered the feeling of that night so clearly, the crushing weight of a broken water heater we couldn't afford to fix, the dread of an empty refrigerator, the sheer exhaustion of trying to hold it all together. The page was a heartbreaking list of necessities. Electric bill, must pay, groceries for the week, David's school shoes. And at the very bottom, scribbled out so heavily I'd almost torn the paper, was a single line: "My art class, $45. I had completely forgotten about that. I'd given up a small weekly painting class I loved, the one thing that was just for me, the one thing that kept my spirit afloat, because there simply wasn't enough money, and my son's needs always came first. I looked up at David, my eyes already filling with tears, completely bewildered. How did you get this?" I managed to ask. He had tears in his own eyes then. "I found it," he said. "I found it that night, Mom, crumpled in the kitchen trash. I read it, and I saw what you had crossed out." He took a deep, shaky breath, "And I never forgot it. I carried this with me, through college, through starting my business, through everything. It was my reminder of what you sacrificed. It was my fuel." He pointed to the crossed-out line. "You gave up your art for my school shoes. You gave up your dream so I could have a future." He knelt down in front of my chair, just like he did as a little boy, and he took my hands in his. "This paper is what I took from you. I took your dream that night, even if I didn't mean to. And today, I'm giving it back." Then he pulled a small glossy brochure from his other pocket and placed it in my lap. It was for the local community art center. "I've enrolled you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "It's a full year pass, Mom, for
every painting and pottery class they offer. The fees are paid for, the supplies are bought. It starts next week. I was utterly speechless. The room was silent except for the sound of my soft crying. For 40 years, I had carried the memory of that sacrifice as a quiet, private ache, a what if that I never ever resented, but simply accepted as part of being a mother. And for 40 years, my son had carried it as a secret torch, a debt of love that he felt he needed to repay. He didn't see a sacrifice. He saw a mother's love written in ink on a piece of paper, and he spent his life making sure it wasn't in vain. If you were in my place, with your child kneeling before you, returning a piece of your lost soul, what would you have felt? It made me realize that our children see so much more of our struggles than we ever know, and that love, true love, always finds a way to come full circle. If this story reminded you of a sacrifice your own mother made or a love that was quietly returned, please tell me about her in the comments. I would be honored to listen.